Good morning, guys. From Funchal, the charming capital city of Madeira, Portugal. This place is jam-packed with things to do, places to see, and of course, food to eat. And with prices rising everywhere right now, I thought it would be a good idea to see what I can get with this. 20 euros. You might be surprised. So let's go do Funchal on a budget. Let's do it. Okay, first stop of the day, and essential to every day is coffee. And Madeira is the place where you can get cheap coffee, so we don't have to worry about the budget at all. Plenty of places to do that. I've come to one of my favorites. It's called Maya Coffee Shop. Very central. Bom dia. This is okay? Okay. Bom dia, bom dia. This is the lovely owner here. Today, I'm just going to order un grotto, por favor. Obrigado. Yeah, this is one of my favorite coffee shops. I don't drink that much coffee out nowadays because I make it at home, but if I'm coming out, this is definitely one of the choices. Oh, look at that. Obrigado. All right, coffee in hand. And this place does get busy, but I woke up a little late today, so I've missed the rush. I've got my coffee, a grotto, a small coffee with milk. Let's just get settled down. I like this place for two reasons. Well, three reasons. One, the coffee is quite good. that's the first reason to come to any coffee shop. And secondly, there's a few people in here, but they're all lovely. The owners are absolutely lovely. Just had a nice chat with him. And it's always a pleasure to see him. And that's what I love about being in Madeira. When you're here long enough, well, maybe not even long enough, even on your holiday, I've seen it happen. You get to know people and they get to know you, and as I walk past, they're waving out and shouting out and, you know, hello, Joe, things like that. I love it, that sense of community. And the third reason I like it is because you can sit out on the street and it does get busy. There's tables out here on the street and you can kind of people watch as life goes by. People walking past and the cars go by. You've got nice buildings around. We are really central, as I say, but we are here for the coffee. Now, it might not be the best coffee you can find in Madeira. You are starting to get specialty coffee. It's a very good coffee for what it is, a very good coffee for a local coffee, but for a coffee with milk, half a sugar, a decent sized cup, as I said, it's a small coffee with milk. For €1, I don't think you can complain. And that's expensive. Some people won't pay more than 80 cents for this, 70 cents for this. You can get an espresso in some places for 60 cents. Now, it might be a bit rough and ready, might be the Portuguese style, very dark roast, a bit bitter, which is why I like coming to this place, because he uses better quality coffee. You don't get that real bitterness. But for €1, you can't really complain. And I'm saying that, and you're not going to see me pay because he is giving it for free. So thank you very much. But Bom dia.
All good?
Yeah, all good. How are you doing? He's one of the other awesome guys who works here. All good?
Bom dia a todos.
Yeah.
Good morning,
Yeah, there you go.
All good with
Yeah,
you?
all good. And you?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Today it's a nice day. Beautiful
Finally,
day.
finally
Yeah,
we got good weather.
I enjoy very much.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you then.
That's what I mean. You can't come here without them saying hello. You can't come here without checking how you are. I love it. Anyway, the coffee is great. And even though it's not taking part of the budget, we're going to pretend it's taking part of the budget. So we're down to €19. We've got €19 left to spend. But it's breakfast time, so we're going to have to go find a snack. All right, let's be helpful and take it in. Muito obrigado. Thank you very much for the coffee.
You're welcome, my friend.
Take care. See you next time. Ciao, ciao. Ciao. Muito obrigado. Ciao. Ah, right. That was good. Good start. Now, I said snack. Actually, we'll cross the road now. It says roadworks. I said snack because Madeira doesn't really do breakfast. People usually come for a little pastry or a little snack and a coffee. And there are a few breakfast places that have started to pop up because, hey, with all these tourists and people working here, remote workers, then obviously people from other cultures are looking for breakfast. But we might review those in a different video. So we're going to stick to the kind of theme of Madeira and go and get a little snack. So I'll see you guys at the Old Town. All right, down into the Old Town, or the Zona Velha. And if you're looking for free things to do, this is a good option, especially at this time of day, because the restaurants aren't open and the boutiques aren't open So you have everything, well, to yourself, it's quiet, and you can see all the doors. It's famous for its painted doors. Some artists came here and painted the doors of the houses. And yeah, by lunchtime and in the evening, this place is busy, and they have tables all out here, so you can't really get the views of the doors. I mean, that's not the best one, but you can start to see as we move down through. All of these doors are painted. Yeah, I like the atmosphere here. I like the idea of it. I like the little craft shops. There's lots of little craft shops, but it's probably the most touristy place in Funchal. I'm probably not going to eat here. And I advise people not to eat here. There's so many other places you can go and eat, good places you can eat. Here we go, we're starting to see some of the doors now. But we are here for a bakery. That I don't mind. But yes, I think people come here because of the atmosphere, because it's kind of the thing to do. It's on all of the things to do, the lists of things to do in Madeira. But I recommend coming in the morning after you've had your coffee and start to take your photos of the doors, because they are pretty cool. Quick. Cover up. This one will get me demonetized. Right, guys, I've come to a little bakery right at the end of the old town called Marazinha. And of all the places on this road, this is probably the place that I would come to. It's a little bakery. It serves coffees, it has pastries, it has snacks, it has bread. Everything is homemade. The bread looks really good. The bread is really good. What I wanted was an empanada. But unfortunately, they don't have empanadas yet, so it's either sold out or still being made. Not the end of the world. It allows me to show you something else, not really breakfast food, but something with a cool little story, and that is this. And it's just essentially bread with chorizo inside. Very simple, very famous or traditional here in this area. But, oh, the pigeons have arrived as soon as the bread comes out. But let me just show you at first anyway. You can see this is homemade, this is fresh. You can see, oh yeah, it was made this morning. A little bit of cheese in there. It's like a little bit of sweet corn. I don't know if that's dropped in by mistake. I've never seen sweet corn in it before, but you've got the chorizo, the cheese, and the fresh bread. Baked this morning, as I say. Good little breakfast snack. Not really the breakfast that we think of, granted, but as I say, breakfast here in Madeira isn't really a thing. It is something like this with the coffee. But I like this place, and normally when I eat at this place, it's not this time of day. It's about 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. after the bars have shut. This place is open. He's knocking out fresh bread at that time. Hey, if he's working anyway at 1, 2, 3 a.m. for the morning, may as well be open. And it's perfect. Selling these things hot from the oven, perfect at that time after a few beers. There are queues of people here waiting for it. Anyway, let's try it. Super simple, super fresh. I've actually got ham in there as well. So you've got ham, you've got cheese, you've got chorizo, a little bit of sweet corn, and then that fresh bread. And the bread is light and fluffy and not very salty, little salt in there as well. So the saltiness and fattiness of the chorizo, oh, it's good. But the bread, I think the reason I like it so much is that the bread reminds me of the bread my grandfather used to make. He used to own a bakery, and this type of bread was what I remember him making. Love it. Right, that was delicious. I could definitely eat another one of them. So light, so fluffy, so tasty, but there's more food to come, so I think I'll save it. It would go really well with the coffee, I think. Like I said, everything in there is pretty good. The empanadas, look out for them, but that chorizo and bread, it's a difficult one to beat, that one. It costs €1.50, so we finally broke the 20 euro note, down to €17.50 in the budget. So we're doing pretty well so far. Let's go check out a little bit of the town before we start to think about lunch. To be honest, if you are doing the city on a budget, you don't actually need to do that much, because walking around the streets, the cobblestone streets, tree-lined cobblestone streets, we can keep adding to it. In this weather, I mean, today is a stunning day, but look at it, look how pretty it is. Blue sky, the purple flowers on the trees. They're out now, spring is coming, and that will last all the way through till winter. Got little fountains everywhere, the port walking along the front, the seafront. But it's just so charming. It's such a charming city. I love Funchal so much with its old style buildings. A lot of them whitewashed, a lot of them yellow, with the orange roof tiles. roof tiles are mandatory here, having all the same orange roof tiles, is just such a charming place. And you can wander the little streets, stopping for coffee, stopping for a drink, stopping for a snack, and you're going to be entertained. And there are free things to do in the city as well, including the Cathedral, which is where we're just approaching now, if you can see it over here, over at the Cathedral. So I'll show you inside there because it is quite beautiful as well. But yeah, I just love it. I mean, this is a touristy area again. Lots of people stop here to have a drink and to have some food. Again, can't say I'd eat here, but each to their own. And this is the Cathedral. Actually, you can't see the spire. The tower on the other side is beautiful, but it doesn't look open. Typical. Let's see what's going on. If you've watched my videos before, no matter what, if I plan something, if I want to do something, it never really works. All right, say Cathedral. Aviso. From the 1st of April to the 4th, no, from the 1st of April to the 5th, the church will be closed. Bloody brilliant. So it's the 4th today, so it's closed. So what I will do, I'll put some footage from inside in a couple of days' time, and I'll show you what it's like, because it is very, very pretty. But I can show you the spire or tower. There you go, guys. That's quite pretty, isn't it? Anyway, totally free to go inside and check out. You're not going to spend more than 5-10 minutes in there, are you? Unless you're religious and want to sit down. But quite pretty. All right, lunchtime. And you can get some really good value lunches here. I'm sure you've all heard of menu of the day or the plate of the day. Here it's pratos do dia. And so many places do these, especially in the Old Town, and especially just around the city anyway. Some of them are better than others, of course. There are some that I would really like to try, but still, even the plate of the day is slightly over the budget with what I have in mind to get today. So I have come to a place that I'm craving something that they do. I have not eaten here in years, so it will be interesting to see if it's as good as I remember. It is a little place that you wouldn't actually find unless you were looking for it. It's called Chavdouro, Key of Gold, and yes, they have the traditional Madeiran dishes, but they also have a board, and most places have this board, the Pratos do Dia, and they have all sorts of different things here. But what I'm craving is this, the milho quente with tuna, $7.80. Great value. Let's go in and see if it's as good as I remember it. Let's hit the table, the tuna and the cornmeal. Might I just say though, before we get started, this must be the most popular shoe shop in the whole of Madeira. It is amazing how many people have come past, looked in the window and gone inside. I think it's a budget shoe shop. It's the most popular place in town. Anyway, the food, as I say, €7.80. You get a fillet of tuna, and it comes in different forms. Last time I remember having it, it came in like a rich tomato sauce with onions and other vegetables. This one is a smoother sauce. It's grilled on the hot plate. Got a nice fillet there. And then this is what they call milho, which is just cornmeal, like a maize. And you can get it fried, or you can get it like this. And look at that. Look at the consistency of that. And I love this stuff. And the idea here, obviously, is to take the tuna and the sauce, put it onto the cornmeal, onto the milho, and then eat it like that. So that is what we're going to do. Take a little bit of it. Oh yeah. And get it onto that milho and some of that sauce, and just pour that on top. And that is what you want. You want that sauce mixed in through that cornmeal. That sauce mixed in and seeping into that cornmeal, because this isn't going to have a huge amount of flavour, but when you add that sauce to it and mix it through, that's where the magic happens. Anyway, let's eat. First of all, let's try just a little bit of that cornmeal. I've not had this in so long, not like this. The famous one here is the fried cornmeal. It's cooked like this, but not as wet. It's then dried and set, cut into cubes and fried. That is the famous thing here, and I love it. But this is equally tasty. Yes, So it's not just cooked in water, it's cooked in a veg stock. So you can taste that veg. The onion comes through, the herbs come through. It's silky, it's smooth, it's not grainy at all. It's cooked perfectly. Delicious, but like I said, once you get that sauce in, it's not so salty, and they do that purposefully. So when you mix that sauce in and then try it, that is when it comes alive. And wow, that sauce, acidity, lots of vinegar in there, which really, you know, cuts through the richness of that cornmeal. It can be quite rich. It is delicious, but hopefully the star of the show is the tuna. So let's try that tuna, get a chunk of that with some of that cornmeal. The tuna is undeniably delicious. If I'm honest, it's probably overdone for my taste. I quite like it when it's pink in the middle, or even raw in the middle is my favorite actually. And this one is cooked all the way through, but it's not dry, it's still moist. There is a lot of flavor. Tuna in Madeira is top quality. You see it in the fish market all the time. You know it's fresh. So if you're going to eat fish in Madeira, tuna is a really good shout. It's not going to have been shipped from over the world. It's going to be from these waters. And there aren't that many better combinations than tuna with milho and a sauce like this. You know, tuna isn't cheap, so you get a good portion. You get a good portion of the cornmeal, but it's light, it's not heavy, so it's perfect, I think, for a lunch whilst you're exploring a town, because it's not going to bog you down. You're going to still want to get out and do the things that you want to do. And the most important thing, it's delicious. Oh, €9.70 for the plate and the drink. Pretty good value, very good lunch, very tasty. The more I ate, the better it got with that sauce, to be honest. I really like that sauce, and the tuna, spot on. Even though I said it was slightly overcooked for my liking, that's just preference, that's how it comes in Madeira. If I really cared about it, I would have asked it to be undercooked, but I just took it as it came. Anyway, it's time for another coffee and Pastel de Nata. Next up, a deal which is definitely a budget deal and one I have to show you, and something which I used to think quite a lot. For a long time, why does Madeira not have Pastel de Nata, the famous Portuguese custard tart, as good as what you can get on the mainland in Lisbon and in Porto? And I had no idea why. I mean, all Pastel de Nata are good, but the ones in Porto and the ones in Lisbon were just another level. That was until recently, well, within the last year, a place called Nata 7 has opened up, selling these amazing Pastel de Nata, these Portuguese custard tarts. And they just cost €1, but they have a deal where if you take a coffee, small coffee, and a Pastel de Nata, you get it for €1.50. And you can have a bica, an espresso, you can have a small coffee with milk, or just a small coffee with a bit of water. And I think that's a pretty good deal. Here they are, or here it is. Looks amazing. And they are all cooked fresh here. They're made fresh here, downstairs in the kitchen. And let me tell you guys, these are, for me, these are the best Pastel de Nata. In Madeira, they have a few locations here. This is probably the most popular. As you can see, everyone's out here, nice, on the street, on a main road, but there are a few more locations. But this is what it's all about. The Pastel de Nata, still warm, so let's eat it. So good. You can see that custard on the inside. It's just caramelized on top where it's been cooked. What I like a lot here is you can choose. They have ones which are a bit darker and they have ones which are a bit lighter, so you can choose how you like it. But that pastry is rich, it's buttery, it's flaky. Oh my God, it's so good. It's not that greasy. Sometimes you can get them a bit greasy, but the flavor, the sweetness is perfect. It's sweet, but not too sweet. It's very well balanced. Definitely the best Pastel de Nata on the island, without a doubt. As I said, they're all good, but this one definitely rises above. For €1, you're onto a winner. For €1.50 with a coffee, you're laughing. All right, come for a little walk because I'm starting to fill up. And I've just come to Parque de Santa Catarina, or Santa Maria Park, because there's a few views I want to show you. Obviously a free park, another budget thing to do. Right at the entrance, you have this pond with these water features. Absolutely stunning, especially on a day like this. And let me tell you, it is starting to heat up. But if this view is pretty, let me show you some of the views around the corner, because you get amazing views over the city of Funchal, a very, very pretty city if you've not seen it. Maybe you've seen my videos before and you've seen it, but this is one of my favorite views and such an easy one to come to. Just a few steps up or a little walk up a hill. But I love in Madeira, they keep their parks so nicely, they're so well kept, always got flowers in bloom. I mean, it is known for its flowers over here. You've got the palms and the trees, always the water features. It's clean, it's well kept. Okay, there's a few leaves now, but they'll probably come and take those away at some point. I just love that about here. Look at this. Stunning. No matter what time of year, there's always a flower in bloom. It is the island of eternal spring. I think that's its other nickname, Pearl of the Atlantic. But yeah, island of the eternal spring. And it is a little bit like that. But yeah, this is a nice park to come and chill out. You can start to see the view in the background. So it's a nice place to come and chill out, have some snacks. But yeah, just wait till I show you these views. All right, this is the first little glimpse that I like as you come round this corner and get this view. Look at this. As you come round, it just opens up just down here. And there are a few places you can get coffee here too, have a beer, enjoy the view. I mean, to be honest, difficult to beat, isn't it? But just look as we come underneath this tree, try and get a nice little cinematic shot, look, as we come through the tree leaves and the branches, and it opens up into that. Absolutely stunning. As I say, you can come and sit here and have a drink, but yeah, let me take you to the spot. All right, this is the place. You've got a little church, and then you've got this platform, basically, where you can have a look over Funchal. And everyone comes here to take their photos, as you can see over there, having his photos taken. Now feeling embarrassed that he's been caught, but look at that view. It probably doesn't do it justice on the phone, to be honest, but with my eyes, it's amazing. You've got the marina down here, you've got the sprawling city of Funchal. And yeah, if you are coming in on a cruise, or cruise ship, this is probably the place to come to take your photos of the cruise ship, because they either park here or they park here, as you can see with this one. But I love this view, and it's not just here actually. You also have up onto the mountain as well. So it's not quite 360, but it's quite an amazing view. Tell you what, I said that I was full, but from somewhere, maybe a restaurant down there, I can smell grilled meat. Grilled beef, the smell of that grilled beef coming up, making me hungry again, which is lucky because I've got another snack to show you. Just setting the camera up and one of the lizards was trying to eat my snack. Anyway, I have another sweet treat called Pão de Deus, and it literally means bread of God. It's typically Portuguese. You find it all over here in the bakeries in Madeira. I got it from a place in the fruit and veg market called A Confeitaria, another very popular bakery here. It's actually a bit of a brand now. It has multiple chains, or multiple stores, should I say. It's a chain, but it's very good quality, all made by them. And yeah, this one that I got it from was in the market. Very nice people in there. They sell all sorts of things. Everything in there is fantastic, really. But I wanted to show you something which was a little more traditional from Madeira, and that is the Pão de Deus. And you can just see, as I get rid of this, you can just see how sticky and amazing it is. What it essentially is a brioche-style bread, so sweet, rich, buttery, and on top they have this crust made with desiccated coconut and egg yolks and then dusted in icing sugar. You can just see by the colour of it, the yellowness, how rich, how buttery that brioche is. And also I think there's honey in it as well, which is why it goes so sticky on that crust. Anyway, let's try. Oh man. The stickiness, the gooiness from that crust is amazing. You can just see it's about 1 centimetre thick on top. The brioche is super light. It just melts away in your mouth. The texture from that desiccated coconut, which kind of like squashes in your mouth, releases that coconut flavour, and then the gooey ooziness, whether it is the eggs or whether it's sugar or honey or whatever it is with that. Super, super delicious. €2, absolute bargain, I would say. Super local, super traditional. One of the best versions of it here, I would say. And if you've not tried it before, I think you're going to like this one. Nearly lost the top. In the shop, they call it coconut bread. And I think that's just for the tourists, because pão de Deus doesn't really mean anything, does it? Bread of God. But it's called bread of God for a reason. It is delicious. So much so, I can see the lizards down there licking their lips, as it were, of it. And I would feed them some, but I don't think it's very healthy, is it? And it's too good to share. All right, guys, €4 left of the €20 budget. And I've got to be honest, I don't think I can have more food. €4 is actually quite a lot to play with. We have lots of options. We could have a prego, the steak sandwich. We could have one of those sandwiches, like a fish sandwich, like I saw at Chaves d'Oro. We could probably even find, maybe for a couple of euros extra, another prato do dia or a menu do dia. You could have dinner, to be honest. But I forgot how hard it is to film these food videos. I haven't filmed one in a while, so I'm struggling. So what I've decided to do is come for a beer at a place called 100 Montaditos, or Ciento Montaditos. It's a little Spanish-style snack bar. Probably the best value beers on the island, maybe, definitely in Funchal. €1.50 for a drink this size, 300 millilitres. And if you want half a pint, no, it's half a pint, if you want half a litre, it's €2. Ridiculous. So, yeah, I'm gonna have a couple of beers. Cheers to you. I mean, what I like is it's come in a glass straight out of the freezer. Exactly what I need on a day like this. Probably gonna have a couple of them with the budget I have. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you're new here, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know if you'd like me to film anywhere. And I hope this shows you can eat and do things pretty well in Funchal on a budget. So, I'll see you guys in the next one.